They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Kill the brain, and you kill the ghoul.
Welcome to the Fear Central Podcast. I am your host, Mike, and joining me this week,
Paul,
Heather, Chris,
and we are all here again. We're good.
Yes.
So far this season is rocking.
Yay!
So this week, I believe we mentioned we're talking locations this week as another character in horror stories.
Yes.
So,
what do you mean by locations being another character, Mike?
well, there are a lot of horror stories out there, more so than most other genres, where if it's not done in this specific location, it's really not the same film or story, if it's a novel or graphic novel or what have you. Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, you look at even the Walking Dead graphic novel. Would it be the same if it wasn't done wherever he set it at? Because I don't think it's set in Atlanta like it's shot.
No.
Because Fear the Walking Dead is Los Angeles.
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
That's what Fear
Resident
of the Walking
Evil,
Dead
sorry.
when you're there.
Yeah.
In non-plague time.
That's Land of the Dead that's in Vegas.
That's right.
Was it Land of the Dead?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Okay.
Well, Dennis Hopper.
Because I know there was one of the Resident Evil set in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That.
Which one was that, Heather? You're the Resident Evil expert.
The third one.
Was it the third one?
It was the third one. I
Okay.
can't remember the name.
The one, that's the one in the desert. Yes, it's
Yes.
yeah.
Apocalypse? No, that's the second one.
That's the second one.
I don't remember. I can't remember right offhand.
Right.
Getting out of here.
But anyway, so locations are very, very important to the story in most horror films, because there are some where it's a haunted house. Great. Okay. Any haunted house will pretty much work.
Mm-hmm.
Or a lake.
Or-
We'll go find a scary lake. Or we
Yeah.
can go find...
Oh.
But they're...
As haunted houses go, though, they usually have some signature part of the house that has a history that
Right.
relates to it all.
Yeah. Like Session 9. Would it be the same if it wasn't in that asylum?
Well, you've got my choice to talk about.
Well, we'll get into it further. It was
Okay.
just an example, or The Haunting. Is it the same in a different castle?
Well, not just that, but would it be a different book if it was set somewhere other than Derry?
That's true. Or
Stephen King
most
would
Stephen
just come
King
up with another
stories.
fictional main town.
I know.
Yeah, but most Stephen King stories, would they be the same if they weren't set in wherever he set them?
Maine. Most of them
Maine.
are
Most
in
of
Maine.
them are in Maine, except what The Shining's not.
Right.
There's a couple that aren't. Like Needful Things, I don't think in Maine, is it?
It is.
Is it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just a movie. It wasn't.
Dreamcatcher is...
That's in Maine.
It's in Derry, too.
Yeah. Well, a lot of it revolves around Derry. I mean,
Yep.
even some of the other stories revert back to it. Because
Breathing in that old
Even the
dairy
Shining.
air.
Even the Shining reverts back because that's where Dick Halloran was stationed
yeah,
before he became a cook.
and
And
the
the
stand.
Black Spot chapter of it.
Yep.
Yeah, and in the stand, one of them refers back to the town that I can't remember the character's name, the chubby guy.
Well, you
Ben.
know,
Wherever Ben came from before he moved to Derry.
Oh, they went
is-
to Nebraska.
Yeah, which is where-
Not that he wasn't from there. That's where he moved after Derry. But yeah, they went to
Because that's where Abigail is, isn't it?
Mother Abigail.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's where she's at.
Yeah.
So his stories just tend. So I mean, locations are very, very important.
Yes.
House of Wax, not the same if you put it in a barn. Mm-hmm.
oh,
So
come
we're-
on.
I know.
and like nothing would happen in Poltergeist if they had moved those bodies.
That's true. But they just moved the stones and left the bodies, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lazy.
Dang.
So we're going to talk about a little bit about that, and then we're going to go into some of the locations or shooting locations that you can actually go and visit.
Got my bucket list.
Get your bucket list? I got a whole bucket list, too.
I've actually been to two of the places in my list.
Have you?
I have.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we'll just kick it off. I'll start with one. Nobi Bisco.
Nobu Bosco?
Nobi Bosco.
Nobu Bobo.
North Bergen Boy Scout.
That's right. It is actually the real camp that Friday the 13th was shot at.
Yes.
It is in New Jersey. If you remember in Friday the 13th Part 3, where the two go to the grocery store to get stuff, and they run into the bikers, the grocery store actually says on the wall, "Welcome to Blairstown, New Jersey." The camp actually has a Blairstown address, but is not physically located there.
Nope.
It is physically located, I just had that a second ago. Hardwick.
Yeah.
New Jersey. What's really cool is the camp still will do Camp Crystal Lake tours. So you can, I don't know about right now, but typicically they do.
Well, if everybody's wearing a hockey mask, I guess it's fine.
That would be true, you know. I would think that would work, yeah. Now, I do want to reiterate that this is the camp they used in Part 1.
Yes.
With Mrs. Voorhees, not the ones after with
Spoiler alert.
Jason himself.
It's also not where Jason X was filmed.
No?
Really?
Are you sure?
Spoiler alert, Paul. Golly.
It's like I'm spacing here. Now I lost my train of thought. Maybe I should get back on that train.
We were talking about Camp
Nobi Bosco.
Nobi Bosco.
Right, which stands for...
North Bergen Boy Scouts.
Right, so it's actually a Boy Scout camp. Much of the film, it says 80% of the movie was filmed there.
Yep.
I guess because the other 20% is in the town.
Yeah.
Where you meet Crazy Ralph.
I love Crazy Ralph.
Going to Camp Blood, ain't ya? But you can go and check out crystallaketours.com and find out all about the tours there. They've got really cool merch that you can get. You can even get, what was it, Heather, that you want to get?
Oh, the Angry Mother Water Company lake water and sand in a jar, a jar.
That's awesome.
The Angry Mother water.
Angry Mama water.
Yes.
He's not a good swimmer. I bet you didn't see this. You can get a signed canoe paddle from R.A. Lehman, which was first Jason.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I did not see that one.
Yeah.
I know you can get a necklace or a keychain that's got the boat dock on it.
Yeah, you can get a signed axe from Janine Taylor. You can get a signed throw ring for saving someone's life.
Oh, like
Life
a life
saver?
preserver.
Life
Yeah.
preserver?
Well, they call it a throw ring on here, but yeah, it's signed by, I guess, several
That's
people.
generic.
Yeah,
Throw ring.
it's a throw ring.
That's the PC way of saying it.
Throw that ring. They have a Camp Crystal Lake campfire mug. That's actually one of the blue porcelain ones.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. But Friday the 13th probably wouldn't be the same without this camp.
Nah.
I mean, you've got to come up with a story, one where you can have all the kids that have very little to no parental guidance.
Yeah.
I mean, where else can you put an angry mom that's going to be able to do everything that's done in that film if it's not a camp? You can't do it in a bowling alley.
It's a good stand-in for summer camps in general, but it is a very picturesque location, and it became the standard, the gold standard as far as.
Yeah,
Did y'all ever go to sleepaway summer camp?
I didn't go to sleepaway, no.
No, but I went to summer camp.
I actually went to a
That's
church
what they
camp.
call it when you sleepaway camp is the actual term for that. See, I never did. I never went to sleepaway camp.
Yeah, I went to one down in Comfort, Texas.
My son goes.
And this place had a chapel that was on the top of a hill, and it was literally 100 steps up to it with rest stops along the way because most people couldn't make all 100 steps at one trip.
Right.
But yeah, I did that a couple of years when I was younger.
Well, and where my son, where we send my son, he goes, and it is right on a river. So there's all these like lots and lots of trees, and it's like water, and it's at night. It's super creepy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, and one major creep factor is that there's an exotic animal place next to it, so you get to hear all the exotic animals like at night making their noises and such.
Who the fuck thought that was a good idea?
I don't know, but they like had a runaway zebra one time.
I mean,
in the camp, they had to chase the zebra down.
that's just
Zebra.
you know.
Sounds like fun to me.
Yeah.
Wild Animal Zoo
Except
and
it's
cited beef coming up the walkway.
In southern Texas in July, it is hot.
Yes, it is.
And it is humid, and I have no desire to go to camp.
Nope.
None.
I enjoy camping, but I will say, like, I've done the tent camp thing a few times, and you start to pay attention to those signs of here are all the wildlife that you've got locally.
Yeah.
Because we went camping in New Mexico, and there was just tons of bear signs everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like sitting there, curled against the side of the tent. Wake up, check my phone. It's about 3 a.m. and I just hear like rustling around all the pine needles around me, and then like something kind of like nudges the side of the tent right where I'm at, kind of nudges into my arm, and I'm like, is this how Paul dies? This might be how Paul dies.
Paul's gonna be a burrito for a bear.
You're going to be a lovely little snot.
A Paulrito.
I tell you what I really hate in general, geese.
Oh my god, those things are
we
evil.
were camping at Inks Lake. They were up all damn night.
Yeah.
And like I could like they were like doing echolocation. I heard them on the other side of the lake. Then all of a sudden they were right next to the tent.
Well, and
Those
lakes,
some damn fast geese.
well, lakes and parks like that, like state parks and like sleepaway camp areas and like Boy Scout camps. Those are all super creepy. Mm-hmm. At night, you know, there's no lights. There's no, you know, you're just out there in the dark.
Doesn't help that I like to load up my. It doesn't help that I like to load up my tablet with stuff like the old Woman in Black and stuff like that, like really creepy atmospheric stuff to watch.
Yes, that would make you an idiot for doing that.
So, but no, I agree with Mike when he said that it wouldn't be the same. And I mean, I guess you could put it in a different camp, but it would have to be just as creepy at night.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, it couldn't be, you know, some place that's paved and rock buildings.
It's got to be rustic.
Yeah, it's got to be the old rustic camp. I mean, yeah, it didn't have to be Noebisco.
Yes.
It could have been another camp that looked just like it.
But it had to be rustic, and it had to be in the sticks where you're so far away from civilization that there's not any lights and it's dark all the time.
It at least had to be far enough removed for that boy to drown with no help.
You had to have a lake.
You have to have a lake.
Couldn't have been a pond.
No, it couldn't have been a pond.
Or a river. I guess it could have been a river.
If it's big enough.
You gotta remove those teens from their parents so they can get it on and get killed.
That's right.
They were having sex. They were getting it on while my son drowned.
Yes.
Kill her, Mommy.
Oh, that's my favorite line.
Wow.
He wasn't a very good swimmer. Oh, this is cool. For $1,000, you can get a Jeep signed tailgate. Just the tailgate. For $1,000, you can probably get a Jeep.
But you'd have to buy the Jeep as well.
If you don't want to hang it on your wall, yeah.
No, I don't think I want a Jeep tailgate on my wall.
Signed tailgate by who?
It doesn't say. It just says signed.
Ralph.
Well, so Savini signed it because I recognize his signature.
Okay.
But you know, actors they write like doctors, so you can't really tell.
Yeah.
Adrienne King, she signed it. Jasmine Taylor, I think. Ari Lehman, because he put down the OG Jason below his name. But yeah, there, like I said, some places you just can't do without
Yeah.
without being in that location. Like your place, for instance, Paul.
Well, since you already broke it, yes.
Did I break it? Okay.
Danvers State Hospital is where my possibly favorite horror movie of all time, Session 9, is filmed.
Right.
Was filmed. You
Yeah.
can't go there anymore.
No.
Because
No.
they demolished a good chunk of it.
Oh, did they?
Yes,
Well, on them.
for the purposes of housing, which, to be fair, it was a decommissioned mental hospital that sat on a large property. I mean, if you watch Session 9, all the aerial shots, you've got the Kirkbride building, like the central administration, and then all the buildings that go off of it go into like this big, wide bat formation that extends out
Right.
very far.
Right.
They do have a portion of the administration building that you can still go and see, but you really can't make that movie without that, because Danvers has a horrific history and involved to how mental patients were treated in, like, place where they perfected the transorbital lobotomy.
Yeah.
And
Brain stew.
and I'll be honest, like, the stuff that's going on with the main characters, who are an asbestos abatement crew, like they're removing asbestos for a renovation job, their stuff is pretty good, but the whole set piece of the reason it's called Session 9 is because one of the workers finds old reel-to-reel patient tapes between a psychiatrist and a doctor.
Yeah.
That is the creepiest part of the movie, and acts as the whole set piece, like letting you know what's going on within the movie.
Yeah, it brings a bit of history to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I just think the atmosphere, that movie oozes atmosphere, and it's...
It makes me wonder if that's kind of where Scott Derrickson got his idea on Sinister. The leftover 8mm films.
Could be.
That's a movie that actually can be filmed anywhere.
It's true.
You just need a box to go
That's
to a
right.
house.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. Because you see them in the film,
Yeah.
all the different houses. So you don't think it would be the same if it was like, say, in the North Allegheny?
Honestly, I think that's a movie that was filmed at the right place at the right time, because it was 2001, and in 2006 is when they started doing the demolition.
Right.
So they hit right into it. Right, they wouldn't have been able to make that movie 10 years later.
Right.
December 2005 is when it was sold, and it started getting partitioned off. So that's about your only way to see some of the building. Sometimes, other than that, is in pictures and video.
But you don't think it would be the same in another asylum?
There are certainly other Kirkbride buildings, because he was a preeminent architect
Right.
of a lot of these mental hospitals. But that one in particular has such a troubled history. That one's like one of the most famous of all mental hospitals, and
Right.
people know its history, and you can look into it. There's a great episode of Lore about one of the doctors there.
Yes.
Because there was also the one with James Franco. Did you ever see that one?
Oh, I have not.
It was
watched
supposed to be based on a true story.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was all mental assault. And this was also back when, you could just put a woman in an asylum because she could read.
Oh,
Hysteria.
That time, yeah.
yeah. Well, we've gotten. I mean, little by little, we get a little bit better about patients' rights and the rights of human beings. But I don't think it's taken us forever to really get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are actually only 2 surviving Kirkbride buildings,
Okay.
and they're both in Oregon. One is the Oregon State Hospital, and the other one is the Eastern Oregon Correctional Institution.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the one with James Franco is the Rosewood Institute in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that film's called The Institute.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Danvers itself is. You honestly wouldn't have the Arkham Asylum without Danvers.
Right.
Because
That's what it's based on, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's based on Arkham, as in the writing of H.P. Lovecraft,
Right.
and then Arkham Asylum was that's where H.P. Lovecraft drew his inspiration for Arkham, and then Batman took H.P. Lovecraft's writing for Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
So,
But I guess because it was where the lobotomy was created,
yeah,
is what really kind of makes that one a little more
well, the
special.
transorbital, the optic ice pick method.
Not the up the nose one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Heather? Where are you going?
I'm staying here in Texas.
Are you? Okay.
I am. And we are going to Kingsland and Bastrop, Texas, which both places I have been to and have visited these sites, which is exciting stuff. For Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know, they call it the Sawyer house. That is actually a cafe in
Right.
Kingsland where you can go and eat, and then the my brain is elsewhere. The house was originally in Round Rock, Texas, but has been moved and to Kingsland and refurbished and all of that.
Yeah, I was going to
stuff.
say,
But-
because I've heard stories that the Dell manufacturing plant now sits where the house used to be in Round Rock.
yes, it does.
So you work at Dell, you're sitting on top of Texas Massacre history.
Yes. Well, and
It's very fitting. Whenever my computer breaks down, I go,
Texas doesn't get a lot of movies shot here other than westerns.
Yeah.
well, indie comedies and drama around Austin.
Those,
Yeah.
yes. But
You don't get a lot of horror here.
you don't get a lot of horror here. And Texas is creepy as shit. We're huge.
Yeah.
You know? And the road that you go, you can follow the road that they took into
to the house. Right.
You can look at the place where the gas station was, the restaurant, which is still there, by the way, and it serves barbecue, which is
They have cabins now, too.
fantastic. Yes.
You could stay there.
Yes. But, you know, apparently, the house itself is actually called the Junction House Restaurant, and it's in Kingsland. I've been there. I've not eaten there, but I've been there. There's just a lot. I got lots of notes here, so I'm trying to get through.
You should see all
Sorry.
the flags.
I have
listeners.
like green and pink flags everywhere.
Yeah, have you seen one of those, FBI movies where they got the giant board and the strings are flowing?
Yeah, that's kind of my process.
Pepe de Silvio.
So, at the actual gas station itself, which is creepy, the gas station, if you look at it, most people wouldn't, driving down the road, if you're cruising down the road, wouldn't just stop at a place like this.
Right.
It's pretty creepy. But they actually have a restaurant, it's a music venue, they've got overnight cabins, you can stay there.
Yeah. Merch.
Yes, they have lots of merchandise, which I would really love to be able to do that.
What's really cool is they've got like one of the Hot Wheels versions of the green van that you can buy for like $13.
That's awesome.
Can you get a Hot Wheels version of Franklin?
Aw,
Wait,
man.
that's probably not.
Aw.
No, I don't think that would be a Hot
Aw,
Wheels.
that's very not PC, Paul.
If it's battery operated, it's got to complain. Come on, you guys!
But not so much. But not just the locations. Actually, the restaurant or the house or the gas station, the house. But Texas itself lends to this because this movie was shot in July in Texas, and they said we were having a heat wave. In the articles, it was described as a heat wave in Texas, where the temperature was over 100.
See, that would have been shot in probably 73, because it came out in 74.
Yeah.
So probably, because I know in 80 we had a huge heat wave.
Well, but I mean, it hovered around 100 the whole shooting.
Right.
Well, around here we go.
If you get to August, we'll go into the triple digits.
Yeah.
Easy.
Oh yeah, it's hot here. But
that was a little bit more lower central. I guess at that time probably didn't get into the triple digits that easily.
Right. Which the heat, you can see how sweaty they are, and that's helping with the. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it really adds to the feel.
It would not be the same if it was set in like North Dakota,
where it's not so hot.
Where it's not so hot.
Yeah.
You know, it would not be the same if it was set in snow.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, you look at the characters in their little cutoff shorts and whatever. That just wouldn't be the same with a big parka on.
I mean, the movie starts, and you got the crime scene photography of that corpse baking in the sun at the cemetery.
Yeah.
Like, you can, that movie is full of grime, and you can basically smell it.
Yeah.
Well, and they said.
Well, especially if you live in Texas.
And they said that in, the diner scene at the end, the climactic scene or whatever.
Yeah.
They said that they had been shooting for 27 hours straight. It was 110 degrees. Between the lights and the heat, all the food was rotting.
Yep.
They said that by the end of the movie, they would not even stand next to it, and my brain has gone blank. Gunnar Hansen.
Yeah.
Gunnar, yeah. Because he was in that whole get-up, sweating.
Because he was in that whole get-up, and he would not wash the clothes.
Yeah.
No one would get close to him at the end of the movie.
Well,
No one.
that's authentic right there.
I'm telling you. So.
It's like not telling the crew of the Nostromo that there's going to be an alien pop out of his chest, so they get an authentic reaction.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a fantastic, if you ever get to come to Texas, we have a few, but that was my first horror movie.
Yeah.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Right.
So whenever I was like looking at locations, I was like, well, I've actually been to those two locations.
Yeah.
So, I want to look into that a little bit more, and,
So I spent a lot of time in high school living in Austin.
Yeah.
One spring break, me and a couple of friends decided that we were going to go camping. So we went camping at the Bastrop State Park. And we psyched ourselves out so much to the point that when we went driving around the park to look for firewood, we thought we saw someone run across the street in front of us, and we went back to the campsite, and we were like, not going nowhere. Just keep the fire going.
Yeah, the only you were saying horror horror movies centered around Texas. The only thing that I was thinking of off the top of my head was the first thing that popped into my head was Frailty, but I'm like, that wasn't filmed, and sure enough, it was filmed in Southern California.
Yeah.
I mean,
even though it was Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
He's a Texas boy. He should know better.
Even
McConaughey.
Robert Rodriguez vampire film.
From Dusk Till Dawn.
From Dusk Till Dawn initially started filming in Austin, but because of the whole issue with the film incentive program that the Texas Congress screwed up, he moved it to New Mexico.
Yeah.
So even stuff that's supposed to be based in Texas is not always in Texas.
Yeah. One quick side note: the owners of the house in Kingsland.
Yeah.
They actually had to paint the upstairs mostly pink so that their kids would sleep upstairs.
That's funny.
Because they were too scared to sleep upstairs.
Yeah.
So
Poor babies.
But
did they keep the sliding metal door though?
That I don't know. I can't remember.
That would be awesome. Kids piss you off. You're like, what?
Right.
I'll listen to them.
But. That's a.
But see, that would be a big thing if I was in high school and had that door. I'd invite my friends over and be like, slam that door closed.
That's like the perfect teenage anger door.
Now, we kind of have to tell you, if you're going to watch the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, do not watch
the remastered one.
The remastered 4K version, because it's clean.
Yes.
It is not gritty.
It's not.
And that's what made the film.
And that is a big deal. The first time we let my son watch it, we were all watching it together, and we watched the remastered one just because that was the one that was streaming at the time.
Right.
And he made mention, and he wasn't, he'd seen several horror movies, but he made mention that, Mom, this is too pretty.
Yeah.
Like, it's too pretty. And I was like, well, so then I go back and I show him the original, gritty one, and he's like, so this is so much better.
Yeah.
So much better. Because they cleaned up so much of it that it's just...
Yeah, when they ran it through whatever digital processes they ran it through, they pulled out a lot of that old film grain, and it was not gritty and dirty like the film is supposed to be because of the setting and the location.
Yeah.
Because that was also during the time where there was a huge gas crisis going on, which added to the whole personification, for lack of a better term, I guess. The feel of it.
Yeah.
Why everybody was the way they were and crazy, and we don't have any gas, we're losing our jobs, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So what you got, Chris?
So for my first one, it's gonna be the house from the house on Haunted Hill, and it's actually located in LA.
And this is the 1999 remake or the original?
The original.
57?
No,
50?
actually, the original one, I couldn't find where that one was.
Oh, okay.
So this is the remake.
Okay.
Oh.
It's actually Frank Lloyd Wright's creation called the Ennis House.
Yeah.
And it served as a, up until March of last year, it was architectural museum. And it actually got sold to a private, I guess you call it private millionaire. But I mean, but it's been in houses. The house has been in movies such as Mulholland's Drive, The Rocketeer, Rush Hour, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Predator 2, Beverly Hills Cop 2, Blade Runner. It was destroyed pretty seriously in '94 from the earthquake and the rains in 2005. Oh, here it goes. The person who owns it is Ron Burkle, and apparently he's a billionaire. Sorry, not millionaire.
Oh, billion.
My bad.
Billion.
That is actually the location for the 1959
Is it the
movie.
original?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. What is?
I couldn't find anything to
Whenever you
confirm
said Blade
Frank Lloyd
Runner, I was
Wright.
like, I do remember Blade
The
Runner
Ennis
was filmed in the
House
same.
was the actual from the 1959.
It's considered to have textile architecture on the outside, which is the way the blocks are shaped and manufactured.
Yeah.
It's a very, very beautiful house. They're actually trying to do a complete, just basically an overhaul inside and out of the house so that they can make it presentable again.
Yeah.
So, but this is a house that's been seen in numerous TV productions and all these movies, and bits and pieces of the house have been photographed, and it when you watch House on Haunted Hill, whether it's the first one or the remake, both of them, the house pretty much makes the movie.
Yeah.
And I honestly don't see another house just kind of filling that spot.
Well, the main thing is the houses really speak to the main character who's hosting it, because it feels like an eccentric millionaire. It doesn't feel like a house.
No.
It feels like some sort of unique office building that's been converted into living spaces and stuff like that.
Well, and the further you get into the movie, the more it's a living, breathing character of its own, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I
mean, where else are you going to have, like, bubbling acid pits in your basement?
Right. It was used in The House on Haunted Hill, Day of the Locust, Blade Runner. It's been used in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Karate Kid 3, Black Rain, The Glimmer Man, 13th Floor. So many.
Yeah, it sits on.
It was the house in 13th floor. Okay,
Yeah.
It sits on 3 acres.
It's pretty wide.
It's pretty wide. It was actually built and opened in 1924.
Okay.
But
it's interesting thinking about that being Frank Lloyd Wright too, because Frank Lloyd Wright as an architect is always known for his verticality. Like, you know,
Right.
his buildings are always like super tall, and that one is spread out.
right,
Yeah.
and it was actually designed for Charles and Mabel Ennis, so that's why it was named the Ennis House.
It was a Mayan revival.
That explains
Architectural
That
type.
explains how the way it looks
Yeah,
on
with
the
a
outside.
textile block house. Yes. But it is absolutely gorgeous. Apparently, LA Conservancy are trying to help him get it completely redone.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, because the 1999 remake, all the exterior shots were done at the Griffith Observatory in Griffith Park, LA.
Yeah, it is. It is located. It is earmarked as a landmark. It has landmark status. So, the National Trust for Historic Preservation and Endangered Historical Places.
I won't give you a specific address, but I will tell you it's on Glendower Avenue in LA.
Number 1011.
She's gonna give out the address.
No,
Please do not go bang on the door.
I won't give out the actual address.
Well,
But yes,
if you can
it's
find it, you can find
gorgeous.
it.
Is there? Well, I mean,
if you ever have a chance to check out, there's multitudes of pictures online from interior to exterior of the house. And it's just gorgeous. I mean, I could see why so many movies have been filmed there and why it's just continued to be just this mecca.
right.
So my other one, however, for this pick,
She jumped to 2.
Oh.
I did. I snuck one in.
2 jumpers.
It actually isn't a house.
Oh, I know where you're going.
Dun, dun, dun.
I know where you're going.
Do you know where I'm going?
I do know where you're
Where
going.
am I going?
LA?
You're going to Evans City Cemetery.
Very good. Now, other than Heather, can anybody tell me in this room what that is?
It's a cemetery.
It is, but
It's
what
a
is
very
it from?
famous cemetery.
Only
Dun,
after
dun,
1968.
Gee, I wonder.
Get you, Barbara.
Stop it! You're drunk!
Look, there's one now.
Yes, this is the infamous cemetery that was filmed in Night of Living Dead.
It looks so clean in that movie.
Yeah.
I know.
There wasn't as many people there as there is now.
Oh.
You know, vacancy always being an issue.
I wonder if there was a demand to get buried there after that
You
movie.
know what? I'm
I
pretty
imagine
sure
it was.
there was. I mean, given the chance, I mean, do you want to get buried where the Night of the Living Dead is? You know.
If your family hates you, no, he'll come back.
But yes, it's actually outside of Pittsburgh. It is a real life actual cemetery, and you got more. Give me this. But that's all you got on this?
That's all I've got on that one because I've got
That's
the rest
all
of
I had
my.
on it too. There wasn't really a whole lot as far as why they built it there, and you know if there's been anything else filmed there.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the reason it stuck out is because Heather stole my other one.
Sorry.
Well,
Which one?
Well, if you're going to visit it, Once you get in, you want to turn left at the
Oh, we
chapel
done got
and then
that
walk
here
down
for
the
you.
gravel road until you see the Blairstone on the right side of the road. That's where the scene was shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
it does have its own unique feel, just for how spread out it feels
Yeah.
in that opening shot.
yeah.
Because it does a good job. It feels safe up until he starts staggering towards them, and she goes to apologize for her stupid brother.
I know. God. Stop it.
Those are my
It even tells you how to get to the Blairstone, which is in the movie.
Yeah, I just said
There
that.
you go.
I didn't hear you, Mike. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you go in and you turn at the chapel and go down the road and
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, we all know.
But if you reach the big red barn that has the owl on it, you went too far.
you've gone too far.
Too far.
Have to go back. Yep, but those are my picks.
Well, I'm gonna go to the next morning. And we'll be at the mall.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Monroeville Mall,
Monroe.
which
Noise?
is which is I believe the first mall in America. Isn't that correct?
I don't know that.
I think it is.
Huh.
I believe that's why it was there. Let's see. But we're talking Dawn of the Dead.
Yes.
And again, it's kind of like with the Friday the 13th. I mean, it could have been any mall, but it had to be a mall.
Yeah.
It couldn't have been done, in Cabela's or something.
They actually have a the Living Dead Museum in the mall.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yes.
I'm trying to find the history on their website, but I don't think they have an about.
Oh, where did I go?
With your selection here, would you say it's more the play? Would you say it's more the actual location, or is it more the time in which it was filmed that it makes it so emblematic of that movie? Like so important to the filming.
It's one of the things they always talk about when it comes to his films. Is this one is like just really about consumerism?
Yeah.
It's. I really want to say that the advertisers for Mervin's decided to watch that movie and went, "Hey, we'll just put a whole bunch of people at the window and have them go open, open, open." But yeah, it's. Repeat the question. I forgot it.
I was just asking if it's more that specific mall, or it's just the fact that it was a kind of a set piece for every mall, like in the late 70s, early 80s. That was the height of the mall, like as consumer. It's like being the standout place for consumerism.
Right. It seems to. I think it almost probably helped drive consumerism, even though it was supposed to be kind of an anti-consumerism film. Because you watch it and you go, well, hell yeah, that's where you want to be. They got the food court, they got the clothing, they got everything I want in there.
But the movie is supposed to be a warning because, we're safe.
Yeah.
But you're going to get to a point where it's not going to help you.
Fun fact about the filming. It began in October of 1977, but had to be stopped because they suspended production because all of the Christmas decorations were hung shortly after Thanksgiving. So they had to wait till Christmas was over, and they took all the decorations down to continue shooting.
Yeah. They were filming at night during the operations, so they wouldn't mess with the operations. Yeah.
Okay, so I was wrong on it being the first one.
Steering the audience wrong.
I know, I'm sorry.
Ugh.
But I'd always heard it was the first one.
But it's not the only thing.
Maybe it was the first indoor one.
I'm not sure, but I do know that there are other things, films and TV and books that are like Flashdance is on the rink. Zack and Miri Make a Porno. The Boy Who Loved Trolls And then Christine, a Stephen King novel, takes place in a suburb that's meant to be adjacent to Monroeville.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's mentioned repeatedly in the book.
Okay. But like we were saying, it's not because it was that mall. It was just...
I mean, because it could have really been any mall. Because you've got the mall from Chopping Mall.
Right.
You know, that could have been set in any mall.
They never shut that mall down during that film.
No, they did not.
So everything they did over the night while they were shooting, they had to put back ready for business opening the next morning.
Yes. So, Paul, do you have another one?
Sorry, I was looking at what the Monroeville Mall looks like these days in images.
Oh, their website looks really nice.
Yeah.
It does.
It does.
It's definitely been updated.
There. We should go shopping there and go to the Living Dead Museum. That'd be fantastic. That'd be a great road trip.
So we're segueing now into the bucket list locations, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So my first selection, you can't go visit anymore. So I've got a couple. I got a couple for people that don't mind leaving the country whenever there's not a pandemic on, or you feel comfortable anyways. Two of my all-time favorite horror movies, The Wicker Man and the 1964 Haunting.
Okay.
Okay.
The 1964 Haunting.
Oh, that house is beautiful.
It is. It is.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah. It is filmed at the Eddington, in what is now the Eddington Park Hotel. So you can go stay there during the night.
Yep.
There are minor reports of haunting activity because that was the first question my girlfriend asked whenever she heard that it was a hotel. And I'm like, well, obviously they're going to have the problem with the staircase area.
Definitely that. And does it have the big fireplace?
The big fireplace might not have actually been filmed on set. And most the thing about that is that's a lot of the exterior shots, but some of the interiors were off-site.
I didn't know. I wasn't sure about that one.
Yeah, but it is in Warwickshire, England. And if you don't mind hopping over to Scotland, that's where a lot of the Wicker Man was filmed. It was filmed. They were based their production out of Newton Stewart, which is on Isle of Cree in Scotland.
Okay.
If you remember Christopher Lee's castle as Lord Summerisle, that is the Coulson Castle in Wigtown, which is a cool 7 miles away. Onwath is where all the decrepit cemetery is, like the ruined church, 16 miles away. The Green Man Inn, where the detective stays, is in Creetown, 6.5 miles away. And the garden, where all the naked ladies jump over the flames and everything, is 30 miles away.
30 miles?
30 miles, huh?
Yeah, it's all very easily located, and if you look at the pictures of any of these towns, they're gorgeous. A lot of those old churches and everything. The thing is if you don't know Wicker Man, like the original Wicker Man, not talking about the Nicolas Cage one,
the bees,
but you've seen Midsummer.
Yeah.
Midsummer has a lot of the same tone.
Midsommar?
You can tell there is a lot of inspiration drawn.
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It is a gorgeous horror movie.
I don't know if I'd want to walk 30 miles naked, though.
Yeah.
That's a long ways to go naked. I am too pale for that walk.
Not after 30 miles, you wouldn't be.
The only filming location, oddly enough, the only filming location in The Wicker Man that is nowhere near the central point is whenever he's flying in. That's the Isle of Skye, which is 281.3 miles away. So you might want to give that a miss.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, especially if you like the idea, going to that's the thing. I really love these villages where nothing's been touched, or you've got old buildings that have stood the test of time, hundreds of years.
Yeah,
and all that old masonry and rock face and everything like that. There's one, I forget which town it's in, but there's a church that is separated by a land bridge. That's real thin land bridge all the way up, and it looks like the church is just standing in the middle of a lake.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Gotta love it. I still think we should all take a trip down to Bastrop and rent a cabin.
Yes.
Been to Bastrop a few times.
Yeah.
What's on your bucket list, Heather?
Oakley Court.
Oh,
Oakley Court?
You say it so wistfully.
I do. It's the mansion they used in Rocky Horror.
Oh, right.
It's just outside London, and it is a luxury hotel.
Yes.
And you can they actually have like Rocky Horror themed stays. And right now, unfortunately, they are closed until April of 2021. So a couple of months, they'll be back open up. But
presumably,
hopefully. But this particular castle, because it's really a castle, in the movie, they used 9 rooms in this Victorian Gothic castle. They used 9 rooms out of the 118 that are there.
Does that include the operating theater?
I believe so. I think all of that was filmed there.
I'm trying to think what that room would look like normally.
I don't know. But come up to the lab.
See what's on the slab.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
I really hope the honeymoon suites don't look anything like those rooms that they show with Brad and Janet.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yes, but isn't it nice? Here's a bit of trivia for you, though.
Yeah.
Did you know that if you pay real close attention when the castle takes off at the end of the film, you can see it's a cardboard cutout, and the real castle's still there behind it in the smoke?
Yep.
I thought that was funny.
That is funny.
No, they actually got it. They actually lifted it off into space. I refuse to believe they did anything else.
But where'd they go?
That's like my bucket list. I want to go during their Rocky Horror time that they have and stay there, and that's like my bucket list thing.
I wanted you to go there with your husband and you to sing "Oh Chad."
Oh, he loves that so much.
In Denton?
So little backstory. My husband's name is Chad, and I love Rocky Horror. So occasionally, when he does something, I'm like, "Oh, Chad, I'm mad about you too," and he absolutely hates it. And I do it so often. He just and I get the look. It's like it immediately, like, he turns his head real fast and looks at me, and I get like daggers stared at me.
Daggers.
And because I like the music, I have the soundtrack. So whenever that song comes on, anytime it says Brad, I replace it with Chad. And he doesn't. Heather and Janet, you can't really switch out. But
I was just thinking how easily pleased I am, because I'm thinking like, oh, I want to go there and I want it to be raining, just so I can knock on the door and they're like, it's like, you're wet. Yes, it's raining. Yes.
yeah.
And I just leave after that.
Excuse me, did I arrive on a very special occasion?
It better be a very special occasion.
I'm not coming in if it's not.
Right? Have to like put a nail in your tire just so that it breaks down at the right point.
Yeah.
But
you gotta have a bunch of heavy motorcycles.
But I definitely don't want to like run around the hotel in my underwear. That's not.
No?
No.
We need to move on.
And start singing "Touch It, Touch It, Touch Me."
Yeah. So, okay, Mike, where's your bucket list destination?
My bucket list destination.
I know you want to go to Scobie Bosco.
Yes.
Scurvy Bosco.
Scurvy Bosco. I want to go to Novi Costco.
Novi Costco, yes. Camp Crystal Lake, I know you want to go there.
I do want to go Camp Crystal Lake. But I would like to go up to Pennsylvania.
Yes?
Yeah. Because
Where are we going?
we've talked about 2 of them. So we can run by and do a reenactment of I'm going to get you Barbara in the cemetery.
Uh-huh.
Then we can head over and go shopping at the mall.
Yeah.
Then when
And
we
what
get
else?
tired, we can go over to Perryopolis, Pennsylvania, and stay in Buffalo Bill's house.
Ooh. But disclaimer, there's no fun basement.
No.
Nope.
Man.
I know.
God.
There's no pit.
They can't dig a hole just to put a basket down?
I would think that would be fantastic. I would love
Do they
that.
have full-length mirrors to do reenactments?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sure.
Everybody gets a kimono.
So, Chris, where's your bucket list?
I didn't have one.
Seriously? This isn't one of your bucket lists?
No.
This would be one of mine.
Her bucket list is Tokyo because Godzilla just tramples the whole town.
Okay.
Yeah.
Location, just
All of Tokyo.
Yeah.
Okay.
All of Tokyo.
Yeah.
One we haven't really talked. I have another. I'll save all this super information I have on this other one for another time.
Okay.
That is a lot of paper.
Yeah.
That is a lot of paper.
Oh my god.
I did.
I'm surprised Paul doesn't want to go to Palazzo Vecchio.
Oh, that would be awesome.
No.
That would be
I'd
a
go.
great one.
Would
That'd
you
be
go?
a great one.
I'd go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I know you really enjoy Hannibal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Me too.
I mean, Florence is on my bucket list, and Florence
In
is
general.
featured very heavily within Hannibal.
yes.
Yeah. Well, that's where
Yeah.
that's at. Yeah.
Yeah.
Florence, Tuscany, Italy.
Didn't you this?
No.
Somebody I know did. And
What?
I thought it was Paul for some reason.
What?
What?
Went to the location of The Shining.
I don't think anybody's been to the.
No.
Actually.
Maybe that's what I was thinking.
We researched it as we researched weird places to stay on honeymoons.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Yep.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to go stay there too. That would be fun. But I could only stay if I go in room 237.
They don't have a room 237.
Oh man.
Oh
They
man.
have 217, which is actually requested a lot.
Well, I can imagine. Yeah.
But
At the Stanley Hotel, that's named for Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah.
your face.
Although every place
Stop it.
every place I've researched though comes up with the Timberline Hotel.
Yes,
lodge.
that is what the outside of the hotel is based after, is the Timberline.
Yeah.
And I
And
thought it was the Stanley. They had the
the Stanley was
hedge
on the
maze and all.
inside. That was
Yes.
on the inside, and the hedge maze.
Magic.
But the outside of the hotel was based on the Timberline lodge, but the inside was based on the Stanley.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where the hedge maze was and such.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
It's the only ski resort in America to offer skiing 365 days a year.
Yeah.
And I get why they renovated the interior, but man, it's like whenever I looked at the website, I'm like, oh, it's modern. No, it needs to look like it's the mid to
It
late
needs to
70s.
have the carpet.
Carpet.
Carpet has to be there.
What's funny is a lot of hotels have carpet very similar throughout the country.
Have you ever noticed that? That's
Yeah.
creepy. Very creepy.
Like one of the
Everybody
ones we
loves
always.
geometric patterns and vaguely Native American art.
Yeah. Because the place we always end up staying at when we go to the Texas Frightmare weekend has carpet very similar.
Yeah.
Every hotel I've been to lately has had random carpet. Now, when we were staying on our girls' weekend and I sent you the picture, looking down the hall, it very much looked like something out of The Shining.
Yeah.
And there was two. The best part was at the end of and it's super long hall, like super long. And at the end of the hall, you could see 2 girls standing side by side at the end of the hall, and I was like, yes! Perfect.
Come
so
play with us, Heather.
No, I didn't want to play with them. I just wanted to take a picture. Snap.
I'm filming. Say, come play with me. Dad!
Yeah, there's a crazy lady in the hall.
She told us to put these dresses on and say these words.
Come play with me.
Yeah. Wow.
No. It's for a video I'm sending my friends.
Yeah, it's important. It's very important that they see this.
Well, I
Do
mean,
they make tricycles for adults?
Yes.
Because if I'm going to go to the Stanley, I'm going to have my adult-sized tricycle.
Get you a green machine, you'll be fine.
right?
I got one in my garage you can use.
There you go. But it's better to ask a couple of girls down in the hallway to put on these dresses and say, come play with me, than to walk up to a random guy and go, can you put this bear suit on?
Dog costume.
Was it a dog?
It's a dog.
It's a dog.
Because Paul said in his history, I didn't understand the bear blowjob or whatever.
Yes, it's a dog.
Okay.
I don't think it looks like anything, really.
No, not really. It's kind of a cross. But yeah.
It's his OG character.
Oh,
This is my original persona.
right?
Wow.
So, yeah,
That movie
locations.
was so ahead of its time.
Yes, it was.
So we went places this week.
Yay.
All kinds of places.
Wait, we actually went to these places?
Yeah, we did.
Oh.
We went there in our mind.
We did go there in our mind.
Yes. If you've got a favorite place that you have on your bucket list, let us know. You can do that from any of our social medias, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, what have you. If you've been there, you took photos, let us see those.
Yes.
We'd love to see those.
Yeah.
I love the photos.
Yes.
Especially if you took those 360-degree photos.
Oh, yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Except be kind of difficult to do with the stairs from The Exorcist.
Exorcist?
Yeah, share those stair pictures, Jerry.
Yeah. We like the stairs.
Yes, we do.
Damn it, Jerry.
But yeah, if you have any pictures or anything, send them over to us. We'd love to see them. You can always go to our website, fearcentral.net, and from there, keep track of what we got going on. We have a blog place there once one of us starts deciding to type stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely don't want Heather typing the things. Heather had fat fingers today and nothing came out correct.
No. Such is life.
It is.
Anyway, but you can also go there and find out all the different places that you can subscribe to us. Don't forget to give us a review and a rating. We always love that. Kind of helps our podcast grow. And next week, I don't think we picked what we're going to do, so it'll be a surprise for all of us.
Yes, it will be a surprise for all of us.
So, hey, everybody, enjoy the rest of your week. And as always,
stay scared.